Supply chain contracts play an important role in environments with volatile commodity prices and affect the hedging behavior of firms. This is really the focus of my research, and this is where I have a lot of new insights to offer relative to what the corporate finance literature has discussed in the past. Typically, the general perspective is they look at hedging behavior of firms standing alone and only considering different factors affecting the standalone firm. But when we look in our research and try to understand the nature of supply chains and how they affect behavior of the firms within the supply chain, we do start developing an understanding that supply chain contracts influence hedging behavior. For example, if you use a very simple wholesale price contract with no escalation clauses, what you are hoping is that every firm within the supply chain are going to hedge their own commodities. And the interesting is that your hedging behavior depends on the hedging behavior of your supply chain partner. Either both of you hedge or none of you hedges. That seems to be the direction that we get in our research. If you have a pass-through contract, as soon as the risk is shifted from the supplier to the buyer, then the buyer, the best reaction is to hedge. And they need to hedge all commodities involved in their products. And that, of course, makes the pass-through contract very effectively, and the risk-shifting behavior for the supplier is justified, as in that case, in almost all states of the world are guaranteed that the buyer is going to execute the contract. For the case of revenue sharing, what makes it more difficult in volatile commodity price environments is that all firms in the supply chain need to participate in the hedging of all the important commodities that affect the product. And of course, all of them need to hedge at the same time, or if the hedging is not going to happen by one of them, none of them is going to hedge. Definitely, supply chain contracts affect the hedging behavior and should affect the hedging behavior of firms in the supply chain for the best performance and the control of the risk of volatile commodity prices.